What's up, Titan fans? How we doing? Welcome to the Week 3 pregame show where it's going to be the Tennessee Titans going against the Green Bay Packers here in Nissan Stadium. But before we get started, let me go ahead and insert a plug real quick. If you're not following me on all three platforms, I'm talking TikTok, YouTube, and X. Make sure you follow me on all three. The handle's the same no matter where you go. All you gotta do is look for Glacius. If you found me on one, you can find me on all. I post shorts all throughout the week. I'm talking shorts Monday through Friday. On Mondays, we do a post-game show. Fridays, we do a pregame show. And then on Sundays, if we play on Sunday, I do a watch party where you can come join me, chat with me in the chat. So before we go too deep into the pregame show, let's go ahead and have a review of everything that happened throughout the week. I post these 60-second shorts, and they're not long enough to get everything out. So this is the time where we go through and we talk about all the shorts, everything that's happened before we get into the meat and potatoes. So first, on Tuesday, we talked about having no regrets, and I'm talking Will Levis. This man, we got to make sure he continues to play. We cannot let him come off the field no matter what. He has to play throughout the year. Even if he's doing bad, even if he's struggling, he has to play. Reason being, he's either going to dominate, he's going to come out on top, or he's going to be horrible, and then we're just going to draft his replacement anyway. But we cannot have Mason Rudolph come in and win us a couple more games than Will Levis's floor, him at his floor play. But if he's playing at his ceiling and he's going all out, then Rudolph ain't going to come in anyway. We might as well see what he has. But if he's more consistent, we're talking about consistency. We've seen Levis come in game one, his first time coming in, he threw 4 tutties. That's what I'm talking about. But no, we got to make sure he's continually playing, see what he's consistent at. I know this year it's been kind of low. He's responsible for 5 turnovers in just 2 games. So we got to ensure he's in the game. We see what he is. We see quarterbacks all around the league get benched too early in their career. We're seeing it with Bryce Young, right? I know he's only played last year and this year. He's looking bad, but they just need to stick with him. They spent the first-round draft pick on it. What's the benefit of playing Andy Dalton? I mean, we've seen it with Trey Lance. He was another first-round draft pick. He's played in like 8 games. This man is on the bench looking like a bust, and he hasn't even had an opportunity. So let's just give it to Will Levis, see what he can do. I know he's just a second-round pick, but that's why we can move on. We can move on if he doesn't perform well. We'll have a good enough draft pick. But if he does do well, it's all up. And then next, we talked about the NFL Network predictions. Now, if you follow me on these things, you know I be posting these videos every week. This week, they went 7 out of 10 of their analysts went against us. But they were right in the previous weeks. We got to prove them wrong one of these. The first week, 9 of their 10 analysts went against us. The second week, 9 of their 10 analysts went against us. So right now, they're sitting 18 for 20. They're like, why would we go for the Titans when they lose every week? And I don't blame them. I'm 0 for 2. I thought we were going to win both weeks. We should have won both weeks. We were dominating both weeks. Week 1, we had the Bears stopped under 150 yards total. They had under 100 yards passing. And look what happened. Next week, Rodgers didn't outdo us. The Jets didn't outdo us. We beat ourselves again. Levis with the flick play. Back-to-back games with a flick play. Then we had blocked punts in both games. Speaking of blocked punts, talking about Stonehouse. The last game he played before he was injured, or that he got injured in, he had 2 block punts that game. He comes back, first game back, a block punt. Next game, a block punt. This man's got to be terrified. Every game he plays in is a blocked punt. He's going to have a short career if he keeps playing for the Tennessee Titans. We allow someone through every time, no matter the year, no matter the head coach. It just continuously happens, and something's got to change. But yes, they have. So they're 18 of 20, 7 of their 10 this week. And I'd be right there with him. If Jordan Love was playing, I know he's trying to come back, but if Jordan Love was playing, I'd probably be going against us as well. But he's not. He's probably not, at least. It's looking like Malik Willis. It'll probably be Malik Willis. They have zero faith in Malik Willis. But we'll continue on with that when we get further in the show. Next, we talked about the ESPN Power Rankings. Now, there's 32 teams. I've seen it in the chat. Some people wanted me to talk about some other teams a little bit more. Hey, and that's just something we got to do. So let's go ahead and hop into it real quick. We'll do a quick little skim of the teams. That way you can see everybody in it. Right here, the NFL Network Power Rankings. Sitting here at last place, you see the Panthers. That's what we were talking about. The Panthers, last place. They're not gonna make the playoffs. They're not gonna do anything spectacular. They're not going to the Super Bowl or anything like that. But they're benching Bryce Young. Why not let him grow? Yeah, Andy Dalton may get you a couple more wins. It's just like the Mason Rudolph scenario. Andy Dalton might get you a couple more wins than Bryce Young at his lowest. But you might as well let Bryce Young play. See what he's got. I know he's back there, he's a little guy, and he's getting chased. He doesn't have that Alabama offensive line like he had in high school or in college. We're going to sit back there for 5-6 seconds, reading the whole defense, finding a passing lane he can look through because he's so short and he can't see over the O lineman and the D lineman. So, yeah, it does take him a little time, and they just need to let him play and develop. But they benched him way too early. It's only 2 games in, but they ain't going to win much anyway. And then, the Giants, they're right there above them. They're not good either. We'll just skim over them. Same thing with the Broncos. They got Bo Nix. Bo Nix ain't doing much. Even last year, the Broncos weren't that good. I'm not sure what's going on with them. I know they lost a lot of cap with the Russell Wilson stuff, so it's hard to build around a team or a quarterback, especially a young quarterback, when you have no money. But, Russell Wilson ain't even playing anyway. Then we got us, the Tennessee Titans. They got us at 29, way down there. When the 2 games we should have won, very close, we beat ourselves. But we're 0-2. They got us at 29, which is wild. We're crazy low. Whenever week 1, we stopped the Bears to minimum stuff. They only beat us because we beat ourselves. And the same thing with the Jets. Colts 0-2, and they're at 28. But they did have a very close game against Houston, which is way up in the rankings for spoiler alerts. Then we got the Commanders 1-1. I can't even remember last time the Commanders was good. But, hey, they're right here, 1-1. Then we got the Bears 1-1. They barely won their first game. It was against us, unfortunately. We were on the losing end of that, even though we dominated the entire game. They got the dub over us, and that one dub put them at 26 because they ended up losing week 2. But hey, that's what ESPN says right there in their power rankings. It's gonna be the Bears at 26. Then they got the Patriots at 1-1. We saw them play. They weren't that good. Drake May came in at the end of the last game, tried to do something. There wasn't much happening yesterday when they got beat by the Jets. So they're actually 1-2. So they should drop in the rankings. Then we got the Jags. They're 0-2. Our whole division is horrible besides the Texans. Jags, Titans, and the Colts, we're all 0-2. So it's very easy. It'll be very easy for us to jump up in the rankings, and especially in our division, only being 2 games down. And both of them were very close. We should have won anyway. Then we got the Panthers. They're 1-1. They beat the Eagles. So they're way up here now after beating the Eagles. 1-1. Browns, hey, Jameis Winston, they should play him because Deshaun Watson is garbage. They need to go ahead and move on. I know they got all that guarantee money locked up in them, but they need to go ahead and move on. Next, we got the Raiders. They're 1-1. The Rams 0-2. They got them way up here at 0-2. Hey, we got the Cardinals 1-1. It's crazy because they're 1-1. I know Murray's, he always does well at the beginning of the year, but as the year advances, when Call of Duty comes out, this man, his whole gameplay is going to change. He's going to quit watching film. He's going to get obsessed with Call of Duty, and his stats are going to plummet. They're going to start losing games. It happens every year. They get hyped with him at the start, and then everything plummets. After that, we got the Bengals. Bengals 0-2. That's wild. Hey, Joe Burrow, he's not doing so well with his hair dyed. Maybe he needs to get rid of the bleach hair. I don't know. They're 0-2. Not looking good for them. And then Miami, they're 1-1. Now, this boy right here, Skylar Thompson, plays. If he's in long term, because I know Tua, they put him on IR so he can recover from his concussions. But if it's going to be Thompson, and they're not bringing, I know there's all this rumor right now about Tannehill. I heard him. I heard even Cam Newton was around that area. So if one of them come in, maybe they got a better chance. But I'm talking about with Skylar Thompson, the Dolphins don't have much of a chance at all. So I really like our chances next week when we play them because of him. Coming into the season, I had us losing to the Packers, and I had us losing to the Dolphins. But I thought we would win the first 2 games. I thought we would lose the next 2 games. But with the injuries to their quarterbacks, I think it might turn things around for us. The Jets, we know they won last night. They're 2-1 now. But when these things came out, they were 1-1, ranked number 16. And Aaron Rodgers, he looked good last night. He looked mobile. He was throwing dots, dropping dimes. Oh, then we got the Packers. Packers ranked number 15. And we'll see. Hey, we versed them this week. You know, Jordan Love, he may or may not play. We'll go over that. I'll talk more about the Packers after the power rank. I don't want to get too in depth right now, but they're 1-1. Cowboys 1-1. We'll see. They're always up and down. Say, hi, I'm going around asking people that are live to get a shout out. Can I get, hey, what up, brother? P21, shout out. Hey. Let's go. Hey, don't forget, like, subscribe, all that stuff. Let's go. How about we got the Steelers, them Steel Boys. You know, they always they might do pretty well this year. Fields looks like he's doing well. I prefer them having Fields over Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson is garbage. We need Justin Fields in there. They got Taji. I mean, not Taji. Yeah, Haji. Yeah, they got him in there. Then we got the Vikings. Hey, they're looking pretty good. You know, we'll see if Jefferson will be back. I know he's been battling a little injury. Trust me, I got him in fantasy points, been a little low. But maybe he'll be back, and they'll continue winning because they're 2-0. What's his name? Sam Darnold. He done turned his career around. He found a home. That's because he's finally on a decent team. This man went from, like, the Jets to the Broncos or something. I think he was even on the Panthers for one point, and it was not good. But now he's finally on a different team. He's finding his rhythm. Seahawks 2-0, if you believe in them. Saints 2-0. They've been dominating every team. I know week 1 was against the Panthers, but they've been dominating. Chargers 2-0. Bucks. Hey, they wanted me to give a shout out on the Bucks in my comments. Hey, what I'm saying is Baker Mayfield is him. He's the man. That's the type of guy I want Levis to become because they have the same swagger. They have the same attitude. I know Baker, he had a down period, and I know Levis is going through his right now, but they can rebound up. Baker's proof. You can rebound. Then we got the Eagles. They'll always be high. They'll probably be a good playoff contender this year. You're talking about they're 1-1. Lions, they got that dominant offense, 1-1. Texans right here, the division rival. Everyone loves Stroud. Stroud is him. 2-0. And we'll see. Everybody had them winning the division. They just might, especially if the Titans keep playing the way they are, they'll probably win the division. Then we're talking about the Niners, 1-1. They're way up there. Then the Bills. Everybody loves Josh Allen, and especially the Chiefs at number 1. You know, they're always in the playoff match to one another. The Chiefs, the media loves them. The refs love them. The NFL loves them. They show Taylor Swift every time. The Swifties, number 1. They'll be that even if they aren't the best record team. All right, let's go ahead and move on. Let's get to some stats. Let's get into the pregame show. This is what we're here for. We're all caught up. All right, this one real quick. Let's look at the injuries and what they have us at. ESPN has us only a 46.8% chance of winning the game. That's what they're predicting. According to ESPN Analytics, a 46.8. Now, Jordan Love, he's on the questionable list. He might come back. You're seeing Josh Jacobs on the questionable list. So, you know, but he'll probably be there. Just because you're questionable, hey, I don't even think Josh Jacobs even really got that injured. But Jordan Love, he's been injured. But he might play, but I feel like it's going to be Levis. Let's look at the Green Bay Packers stats real quick. All right. When you're looking at their quarterbacks, right, Jordan Love, he may or may not play. Probably not. But he's at 17 of 34, 50%. 2 touchdowns, 1 interception, and he got sacked. Malik Willis' stats look better They do look better, but he didn't throw the ball much. Hell, in the first half of last week's game, he only had 4 pass attempts. Granted, on those 4 pass attempts, he completed all 4. I mean, he looked good on it, but they ran the ball 30-something times in the first half. By the end of the game, yeah, he had more. I think, but he's not 12 or 15 now. But, I mean, that was all in the second half after they ran the ball 50-something times that game. They had 50-something rush attempts. They don't believe in Malik Willis. I know they traded for him, and it's going to be horrible if we lose to him because we said, Malik Willis, we don't want you. We said you're a backup. You're not even a good enough backup to be our backup's backup. We don't need you on the team. We're going to trade you away for a 7th-round pick. And then if he comes to Tennessee and beat us, it's going to be horrible. But let's hope that doesn't happen. Next, hey, Jacobs. He's been balling out, but I know he's worn down. He had lots of carries last week. He had like 30-something carries. But look, he has 48 carries on the year, 235 yards. Reed is their next person. He only has 3. Like a lot of their guys don't rush. The next leading rusher in attempts is their backup running back Wilson, but then it's Willis. So, they're mainly got one bull cow. They got Josh Jacobs. Receiving, I mean, obviously they haven't thrown the ball that much. They didn't do it much last game. They did it week 1, didn't do it week 2, and they're probably not going to do it week 3 because we're going to get in that in a second. They're not going to be able to throw the ball on us. All right, enough of their stats. I ain't concerned with them. I'm here for the Tennessee Titans, baby. That's what we want. All right, Will Levis, the Mayo man himself, right now on the season, he's sitting at 38 completions on 60 attempts, a 63.3 completion percentage, 319 yards, 2 tutties, 3 interceptions, and he's been sacked 7 times. That's wild. 7 times in 2 games. He ain't even hold on to the ball that long. It's just sometimes the offensive line just lets people through. It is wild. And the thing is, we have the best offensive line coach of all time. How does Bill Callahan? I know these players were grandfathered to him. He did not get to select these players. He didn't get to help his father or his son select these players. These were all these linemen were on the team, minus Quisenberry, who's our team captain, one of them, and then Latham. Other than that, the line's the same. The other 3 guys were here last year. Didn't get to have a say in the selection process, but our offensive line seems to be struggling, especially in pass protection. Rushing the ball. Look, we got 33 carries, 144 yards with Tony Pollard. He's doing fine. He's doing good with us. Sometimes we don't run him enough. He had the hot hand in week 1. He had 60-something yards in the first half, and then we stopped giving it to him. He finished the game with like 80 yards. We got to continue to feed Pollard. Feed him this game. Yes, I want to see Levis ball out, but we got to not let the defense know it's coming. And we can't continuously run on first down. First down killed us when Vrabel was our head coach, and it's killing us now. They know we're running on first down. We do it all the time. And Tajay Spears, 10 carries, 41 yards. See, and you know what? What's funny is because when the season was coming up, in the preseason, they had the depth chart. They had them both labeled as number 1s. But it's clearly Tony Pollard. He's clearly the number 1. And then Calvin Ridley, he does have that one reverse. He did 10 yards for a touchdown, which they set up beautifully last week. Because on that drive, they did so many reverse plays, fakes, right? Every time they ran the ball, they had a wide receiver in motion, and they would do a fake wide receiver reverse and then give it to the runner back. They did it. They set it up many times, and then once they got in the red zone, 10 yards from scoring, they actually ran the reverse, and it was successful because they did not think he was going to get it because we faked it so often. And Calvin Ridley, he is leading our team in yards. He has 127. He should have more. He did have that one that went right in his hands. He dropped it, but he has been good for us, and he has been overthrown multiple times by Will Levis. Will Levis does suffer from his accuracy issues. He did in that one game, the first game when he was like on the right side and Levis threw it in the middle, and it almost got picked off, and Ridley had to come back to break it up. Then on the one on the left, he ran that streak route on the left side, and he overthrew him out of bounds. Both of those could have been tutties, could have been big yards for Ridley, but it didn't work out. He got missed on those plays. Tyler Boyd, haven't seen him too much. I know he's third in our team in receiving yards, but he hasn't been that big of an impact for us. I mean, he only has 5 receptions in 2 games. It's not that good. Same thing with Chig. He had that one big touchdown catch, but that's about it. Chig's been almost invisible out there. We do have to open up our passing game. And speaking of, I know D-Hop's on limited snaps. D-Hop got these limited snaps happening. But 2 catches, 17 yards. That's not cutting it. That's not what Will Levis needs. Last year, D-Hop was his security blanket. I know he's injured, limited snaps, but this week against the Packers, D-Hop needs to get out there and go ball out. And then looking at our defense, Kenneth Murray. You know, he's been everywhere on the field. He does great in rushing the passer. He does great in run support. He does struggle in pass coverage. You've seen him get beat along the sideline by the Jets runner back. They just tossed it up, or he outran him and just, it got tossed by Rodgers over his head right for a tutty. He does need to work on his pass coverage. But look at this. This is one of the big stats right here. Harold Landry, 3 sacks. He is back, baby. And if he's got Malik Willis back there, if they throw the ball, that's speaking if the Packers throw the ball, you're talking Harold Landry back there against Malik Willis, who holds on to the ball and is afraid to get rid of it, dances around in the back all the time. Harold Landry's going to get a sack this week. He's going to have another one. Then we're talking Joseph Day. He only had that 1 sack. We say that's the thing. Our defense is dominant, right? But we don't have any turnovers by our defense. We don't have that many sacks. I mean, that's it. 4 sacks. But we're good at stopping teams. We get them off the field. They're only on there briefly. We're getting them to those 3 and outs. We're forcing them to punt the ball, but no turnovers yet. That is wild. And then another interesting thing. If you look right here at our defense, this is what I'm talking about. Defense. Number 1 right here in passing yards. We have the best defense in the league against the pass when you're talking about yards. And we're going against Malik Willis. This man couldn't throw the ball at all. And this is who we're going against. We got the number 1 passing defense. And then yards per attempt. Look at this. Second best. When they are throwing the ball on us, it's only for 4.6 yards. Oh, Packers fan here will be close. I think so too. You know why? Our offense is struggling. You guys don't have much of an offense. It's going to be a close game, but we'll just go into the next part. I think the game's going to be close. It's probably going to be low scoring, and it's going to be fast. Last week when I was watching the games, I was looking at the Packers, and I was looking at the game cast of it. Their game ended because they ran the ball so much. I think we still had like 8 to 10 minutes left in our game. It's wild how fast their game went because they ran the ball so much. And it's going to be like that again. I think they're going to run the ball a lot, but I think they're going to struggle because we have a good defense. And they can't revert to the pass. Literally, we have the best pass defense in the league. Rush defense, we're in the middle of the pack. But still, they think they're going to rush the ball 50 times against us like they did last week? 50 times? Not happening. We got Big Jeff T-Sweat clogging up them holes. Hey, Perma, what you think the score is going to be? Give me your prediction. Let me know. You say it's going to be close. I think it's going to be close, but I think it's going to be low scoring because in these games where they run the ball a lot, you don't get a lot of time. The game's going to fly by. Next thing you know, it's over. And look, the Titans, we haven't put up over 17 points all season. We haven't put up over 30 points in like 2 years. It's insane. So for my prediction, I think it's going to be low scoring. I think it's going to be close, Perma. I think our offense, I think we're going to try to be a little bit more conservative. I know Will Levis has been having his issues. Our coach, Callahan's probably been in his ear. He probably wants to play it a little bit more safe. So I'm thinking we're going to get 17 points for the 3rd time in a row because we can't break the curse. 17 points is where we go and where we end. It's just what it comes down to. 17 points is our number. And the Packers, I think they'll put up a couple tutties on us. I think it's going to be 17-14. I think we'll win the game just because they have Malik. But if for some reason, if Jordan Love comes back, I know he's on the questionable list. I doubt he's going to play. If Jordan Love comes back, I'll go ahead and flip it. I'll give them the dub. But if it's Malik Willis, Titans are winning this game. It's going to be a close one, 17-14. But that's about it for today's show. That's all I have. Perma, go ahead. Don't forget to like, subscribe, all that. Remember, you can follow me on all platforms. I'm on TikTok. I'm on YouTube. I'm on X. You found me on one. You can find me on all. I post all throughout the week. But let me know your predictions down in the comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and tighten up, baby.